wait until there's a problem before we take our car to the mechanic or to the detailer or whoever. If there's no problem, we're fine. We'll drive the car until it leaves us in the middle of the road. This year, we're going to do better. And so we're going to introduce a series of conversations on how we can take better care of our cars, from pretty much everything, from maintenance to your tires, to the inside, to what you need to know before you buy a car, and so on. We're starting off our conversations on cars today with maintenance. You can understand maintenance. What do you do when you are maintaining your car? And to have this conversation with us, the way we have suffered to find the appropriate person to give us the right information, I am so certain that all our questions will be answered. Our guest today has over 15 years of experience working on various mechanical components. He is a graduate from General Electric in the USA, so he knows what he's talking about when he starts talking, and I just enjoy listening to him talking about cars. He's the CEO of iGarage, Mr. Kosi Degbe. How are you?
I'm fine now.
You're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how romantic are you?
That's a difficult one.
It's a difficult one?
Yeah, 7.
7? Well,
Yeah,
that's above average.
Yeah.
That's above average.
You know.
So we can rely on you for some good information.
Oh, yeah.
So let's just give us a bit of your background. You trained at General Electric.
Yes, General Electric came on later in life, but I'm a graduate from Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology.
Okay.
I did mechanical engineering over there.
Okay.
Then I continued to Gimpa Business School, where I did the MBA.
Okay.
So I also trained on the Sigma and the project management professional. I'm a certified project management professional.
Okay.
Then I also train people.
You train people?
Yeah, who want to certify in project management.
And now you have a garage?
I have a garage.
iGarage?
iGarage.
So is it a garage for iPhones?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yes, so
okay.
People ask me, why iGarage?
Yeah, why
because
iGarage?
we wanted something to resonate with what we are doing. So what we did, garage already, people know garage is either for a place for cars. Either you are selling cars or you are actually maintaining cars. So the we're starting something. We don't want to be kind of limited by geographical location.
Okay.
So the I actually stands for internet. We want to go, so when we hold our programs, we kind of put it online. People call from all over the country.
Yeah, I think I might have seen a Zoom session with you.
I
think I might have seen a Zoom session with you talking about cars and mechanics and stuff like that.
Exactly.
But we're having this conversation because our cars are important.
Yeah.
Just as important as our bodies, because, you know, the way you keep your car can determine whether or not you're going to be safe while you drive it.
Exactly.
We're starting off with maintenance.
Okay.
Now, I know that when I say I'm going to, maintain my car or taking my car to the mechanic, it's probably because there's something wrong.
Exactly.
And that's what I have done all my life. And I'm sure that's what a lot of us do. But I have learned recently that that's not how it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
So tell us, what is car maintenance?
So to start with, I'll break car maintenance down to the level of most of our viewers. So maintenance only means there are certain activities that must be performed on the vehicle within predetermined intervals to keep the vehicle safe on the road without breaking down throughout its whole life cycle.
Okay.
So I mean life cycle because there will come a time where that vehicle must be retired from active service.
Really?
But yes. When we do engineering design, I remember those days, you must be able to predict when the item will fail. So for vehicles too, we have lifespan. So we'll say, okay, the vehicle should be able to do maybe 500,000 kilometers per hour.
Okay,
500,000 kilometers or 200,000 kilometers. So
that's the mileage?
That's the mileage, yes. So if you...
So it's not a number of years per se?
Not
a number of years per se.
Not per se.
So for a regular, let me say, like a Toyota Corolla, how many kilometers must it go?
That would be a difficult one to answer now because it depends on the manufacturer. So the manufacturer will be able to predict the extent of usage before failure.
So is that information available?
No, not really.
So I will not know when I buy my car how long I should drive it for?
You will not know. You just have to keep driving, do the proper maintenance. It gets to a point, you realize, one thing we do here in Ghana is, it gets to a point, we advise you have to let go, because the cost of maintenance kind of, you do the cost-benefit analysis and you see that it's no more beneficial to keep that vehicle.
But when you let it go, you are not retiring the car. You are selling it to someone else who continue to use it, isn't it?
Yeah, so we are trying to even introduce a system now where we can recondition those vehicles. It's one of the projects we want to start in iGarage.
Okay.
So when you have your vehicle and you think that, okay, I've had enough of it. So we'll come and acquire that vehicle. We'll send it to our shop. Then we'll recondition the vehicle. So we will term it a pre-owned. Just like you go outside, you have your mobile phone. Somebody had owned the mobile phone in the past, but we've put it in a condition that looks almost new. Then you acquire it now.
Okay, now let's talk about maintenance.
Okay.
So you say that there are things you have to do over time.
Exactly.
What are the things you have to do?
So it varies from vehicle to vehicle. So normally I advise people that when you acquire a vehicle, try to also have access to the shop manual or the maintenance manual, because a Toyota Corolla has its set of activities that must be performed on it. A Mercedes-Benz has its set of activities that must be performed on it with the timelines. For instance, most Toyota vehicles will tell you at 60,000 kilometers, change the transmission fluid. When you take, people complain about this vehicle so much, Chevy Cruze.
Okay.
It's one vehicle that a lot of people complain about overheating and all those things. But if you look into the manual, Chevy is stated over there, 5,000 kilometers, do a full cooling system pressure test. A lot of us, we don't even know. A lot of our mechanics are not aware of this information. So you drive the vehicle 20,000 kilometers and you start overheating and you complain that the vehicle is not good. So the maintenance manual, if you compare the cost of the maintenance manual to the cost of the vehicle, it's something very minimal. But most times, it's just because of ignorance. We don't know such information.
You mean the manual in the glove compartment?
No, that is the user manual. That only tells you how, as a user, how to operate the vehicle.
So what's the maintenance manual?
The maintenance manual is a standalone manual. You buy that one separately from the vehicle. These days, you can even download it. You don't even need to go into
You're
detail.
saying that when we buy a car, we're supposed to buy a manual called the maintenance manual.
Exactly.
Which is supposed to teach us how to maintain the car.
Exactly.
Do people actually do this?
No. A lot of us in Ghana, we are not even aware, let alone going to do that. So what happens is the responsibility lies on you, the vehicle owner, to know what should be done on the vehicle. So when you go to the mechanic, you would have read some of those things already. So you're armed with information. So when you get to your mechanic and he's doing the wrong thing, you'll be able to tell that, no, this thing you shouldn't do, or this is what you are supposed to do.
Because the mechanics will usually say, my mechanic is always, you know what he says? And I'm never like, what are you saying? So I have to read my maintenance manual before I go. Okay, I won't read it. Let's just be honest with ourselves.
Okay.
Many people are not going to read the maintenance manual. Okay. So I have a car, all right? What are the basic maintenance things I need to do, and how often do I have to do them?
So you say nowadays it's quite difficult because the vehicles have transformed so much that it's become a computer. You need certain tools to be able to even tell what to do on the vehicle. So as a user, you are limited to what you can do as in keeping your vehicle very well. Because, for instance, you could wake up in the morning, just check maybe your fluid level or all those things. Some of those things, and one thing I tell people is, we wake up, for instance, coolant. The coolant is it's not a consumable. So once you start topping your coolant every morning, it means there is a problem. You are not supposed to be topping the coolant regularly. You get it? So if
is the coolant the same as the water?
The water, and we want coolant, not water. You know why?
Why?
The coolant is oily base, so it prevents corrosion of cooling system components. If you use water, already water has a very low boiling point as compared to the coolant at atmospheric pressure. So we say that water boils at 100 degrees Celsius at normal atmospheric pressure. Meanwhile, most vehicles have their operating temperatures around between 95 to 105 degrees Celsius. So if you are using water and water is supposed to boil around 100 degrees Celsius at atmospheric pressure, then what it means is that you may have the water boiling, and obviously when we go to our kitchens, when you boil water and it evaporates and you go back into the pan, you'll see that there are some kind of whitish residues left. Those are salts And we don't want salt kind of enhances corrosion.
So you're saying that the water we put in our vehicles, our engines, is a bad idea?
It's a bad idea. It's just a matter of time. Coolant, exactly.
For every vehicle?
Every vehicle.
If you previously used water, can you start using coolant?
Exactly. And so if viewers are listening, if you have water in your vehicle now, maybe from today, go back to your mechanic, tell your mechanic to drain your water and replace it.
You shouldn't wait for it to finish.
No. It mustn't even finish. The moment it gets finished, it means there's a leakage.
Okay.
So once there's a leakage, you are just setting yourself up for overheating.
Okay.
Exactly.
Talking about overheating, I see people in traffic a lot with overheated vehicles, with the bonnet open. When your vehicle overheats, it means that you run out of coolant. That's what it means. What are you supposed to do?
It doesn't necessarily mean you have run out of coolant. There are so many, about 10 different causes of overheating.
Oh.
Yes. So, for instance, you see the coolant tank cap.
Yeah.
That thing alone can cause you overheating. You have your coolant intact in the vehicle, but that alone can be causing you overheating. And it's one thing a lot of mechanics find very difficult to diagnose. So when you look on that, that cap, when you look closely, you'll see a number on it, 0.9, 1.1 or something. That is just telling you the pressure rating of the cooling system at optimal operational conditions. So what it means is that, you see, and when you carefully examine that, you see that it's spring-loaded.
Yeah.
It's spring-loaded. So we call it in engineering relief valve. And when you look on your coolant tank, at the top of where that cap sits, you kind of trace a small hose to another tank. Yes. Yes, we call that the surge tank. So what happens?
Not the reserve.
Or you can call it the reserve. There are different names. But okay. the essence is not actually anything reserve. It's a surge tank. So I'll explain this to you. Okay. So when you kind of reach that optimal operating temperature, pressure, which is, let's say, there's 0.9, or some of them are rated in kPas, which is kilopascal, or whatever units they are using, depending on the manufacturer. When the cooling system reaches that pressure, that spring is supposed to kind of compress. Then there's a pinhole at the neck of your sorry.
You're confusing me.
No, sorry. I'm trying to break it down.
Let me ask you the question again. You're saying that overheating is not only caused by the absence of water or the coolant in your vehicle. Other things can cause overheating, including the cover of the tank where you pour the coolant. Exactly. So how does the cover cause that? Does it mean that you have to buy a new cover, or you're supposed to put a wet rag on the cover to cool it down? No, so when you come to our garage, what we do as part of our regular maintenance is we pressurize that cap. There's a tool over there. So we'll put the tool on it and pressurize that cap to see the pressure rating on it, if it's able to hold. Okay. So the tank looks like this. So it's supposed to look like this, I suppose. So this is what it looks like, right? Okay, yes. This is what I was talking about. All right. Okay, good. So the tube that runs into the other tank is the other tank there now is the reserve. That's the surge tank, or what you are referring to as the reserve tank. Okay. So is the level of this coolant all right? Yeah, so it's between the maximum and the minimum. So I would say it's all right. Some people fill it to the top. Is that okay? You're not supposed to fill it to the top, because when you're the vehicle, when you're at optimal operation conditions, optimal operating conditions, there's expansion. Okay. So if you fill it to the top or to the brim, and there's expansion and all those things, where do you expect the excess to go to? So we kind of leave that space over there. So the expansion, the distance that will be formed, the steam and all those things will kind of be bled through that tube into the surge tank. So we call it the surge or the resurgent tank. So it goes there to kind of normalize. Okay. When you park your vehicle, then this thing goes back. It goes back up? Yeah. I see. Interesting. So I see people filling their coolant and then they fill it. It actually pours. You see the water coming out before they close it. Or even the coolant, you see it come out before they close it. But speaking of the coolant, there are so many different colors. There's a green one, there's a blue one, there's a pink one. Do they do different things? Or if I go to buy a coolant, I can buy any of the colors?
So there are different additives in them, and they have different operating temperatures.
Okay.
So their vehicle manufacturer will kind of make or give a recommendation on which one is suitable for your vehicle.
Okay.
So if I have a, let's say, a Toyota Vitz and you drive a Mercedes Benz.
Yes, I do.
I know you drive a big car. So the different vehicles will call for different coolants because of the additives and the different operating temperatures.
So if I just buy any of them, it will be a problem?
It will be a problem. That is why I will go back to my opening statement that let's have access to the vehicle shop manual. These days, you don't even need a shop manual per se. Simple Google search. You put your vehicle's details in it.
So it will tell me whether to buy a red one or a green one or a blue one?
The color doesn't, we don't really go in for the color. If you, I as an engineer, I'm not concerned about the color. So I'll look at the operating temperature, the different additives.
Let me activate the phone lines now, and then we'll come back to you. So if you have any questions about your car maintenance, now is a good time to call us, because he will take all your questions. The number is on the screen now. If you have any questions about car maintenance, call us now. And please, when you call, turn down the volume on your TV set, okay? And listen to us through your telephone. That way we'll not have any feedback in the studio. So it's the content, but I will not know as a vehicle owner unless I go and Google search what my manufacturer has said in the manual about what I can use. Or if I go to the filling station, because I often buy my coolants from a filling station. If I go to a filling station, they can tell which one I need. So
now, that's the reason why we are setting up places like the iGarage. You have your job. It's also our job to maintain your vehicle for you. So you don't have that, you don't have to carry that headache of, okay, which coolant do I need, what is the operating temperature?
Okay.
Your job, your first responsibility is to identify a very good mechanic or a very good workshop. That you know the guy is experienced, well-educated, has all the tools that can fix a modern vehicle. Once you have that, it's like about 50% or more of the job is done for you.
So you're saying it's a bad idea generally for a car owner to by themselves go and buy their own coolant?
I can't get up and just go to the pharmacy or the chemical shop and go and buy medicine and take. Somebody will have to give me a prescription. Right. So it's the same thing.
Let's talk to Raymond, who's just called us from Tamale. Raymond, good morning. And what's your question?
Good morning.
Good morning.
My question is, he was asking us if we can go to Google search to search for our user manual. No, maintenance manual.
Yeah, right? Maintenance manual.
So I wanted to know what would be the best place to go after you know a particular fault on your car or the problem on your car you want to fix. Where would be the appropriate place? Is the roadside or should go to those like the Mercedes Benz?
Okay.
And also I have a car to give it to him, so if there's any location that he will give when they start buying the old car.
Okay, all right. Thank you. We'll take a few more questions. So you can call us. The number is on the screen. If you have any questions, particularly about car maintenance, today we're talking about maintenance. So particularly about car maintenance, that'll be great. But if you have other questions also, Kosi will be happy to answer for you. So he has a question on the maintenance manual. I don't think a lot of people know about this maintenance manual.
No. About 95% of users who come to our workshop are not even aware of this information. That is why you go to your mechanic and they say, buy this, buy that. I've seen people, when you open their trunk or what we call the boot over there are a lot of spare parts over there that can even build a new engine bay for you, because you go and say buy this, you go and fit, it doesn't work. And the sad aspect of it is we don't diagnose. It's like during the days of our forefathers or fathers, they can just look into the vehicle. Vehicles were not that complicated, so they will be able to tell that this is wrong, that is wrong. But now everything is computerized, so you need to understand the usage of the computer before you can even be a good mechanic now.
So every car can be diagnosed with a diagnostic machine? Yeah,
vehicles made, I think, from 1996, especially in the US. They have the OBD tool.
To diagnose. All
exactly.
Right. Let's talk to Hayford on the line, calling us from Kaswa. Good morning, Hayford.
Good morning, now.
Yes. Do you have a question?
Yes, I have a question for engineer.
Go on.
My question is, if your coolant has dropped below the maximum level, can you add water to it
Okay. Can you add water?
No, you shouldn't add water, but if you are in a place that you don't have access to the coolant, you can add water to take you home to the shop where you drain that coolant or a mixture of coolant and water now. Then you kind of replace it with.
But it won't damage your vehicle.
No,
if you
not immediately.
Not immediately.
It's a long-term effect.
How do you drain the water if you want to do it at home, or drain the coolant?
So there's a low point on the cooling system. When you look at your radiator tank, there's a low point. You need to go underneath the vehicle anyway, I think close to the bumper. So there's a tap or something over there that you open and then drain the
Anyone can do this?
I don't advise you do it at home because you see some vehicles. I delivered a vehicle to a customer recently, I think just 3 days ago. Some of the vehicles will not just allow you to pour coolant or water in it, then you start driving.
Okay.
You experience overheating because there are pockets of air trapped in the system.
Okay. All right. Let's take another call. We have a call from Dodoa. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. What's your question?
Yes, I want to know the causes of smoke from the exhaust pipe.
You want to understand why you're paying the emissions levy? All right.
Yes.
He wants to know the source of smoke from the exhaust.
Okay, so there are different types of smokes that comes from the exhaust pipe.
There are different types?
Yeah, there are different types depending on the color. So when I'm driving behind you and I see your smoke, I can tell what is happening to your engine. So we have the whitish smoke, we have the smoke that looks blue, and we have the smoke that looks dark or black.
Yeah.
So if you have a smoke that kind of presents in a blue color, that tells me you are kind of burning engine oil.
Is that bad?
Very bad.
Okay.
If you have a smoke that is kind of whitish, it means you are losing compression. It's like your internal component of your engine is like something is not closing very well. Or you're also burning coolant. If you also burn coolant, you present a whitish smoke through your exhaust. And if you have a dark smoke, a black smoke, yeah. Oh, okay.
So the white smoke means
The white smoke normally will mean
coolant leakage.
Coolant leakage into your combustion system or compression loss.
Okay.
When you have a blue smoke, it means you are burning engine oil. If you have a dark smoke, incomplete combustion. It's like you are kind of, your injectors or these days we don't have carburetors. So you are going off the standard 14.7 to 1 stoichiometric value for petrol vehicles.
What if there's no smoke? Is that okay?
That's perfect.
That's perfect.
What, yeah.
Okay, I'm asking because I have no smoke.
Okay.
All right, we have Ibrahim on the line calling us from Circle. Hello, Ibrahim.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. You're welcome to the show. What's your question?
Yeah, my question is that I want to ask about turbocharger. Yeah, can a turbocharger cause a car to get burnt?
All right.
To get bent.
To get burnt, yeah. Can a turbocharger cause a car to get burnt?
No. Turbocharger will not get a car to get bent. The essence of the turbocharger is just to kind of compress more air into the engine for you so that you have a near perfect combustion. So it shouldn't get the car bent. No.
Okay.
It should be something else.
It should be something else.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. You can also call us if you have any questions on your car maintenance. The number is on the screen. Call us and let us know. Our engineer is here. He'll answer your questions, all of your questions. So we've spoken about the coolant, the smoke from your exhaust, and can we talk about your fuel in your vehicle? When you go to the station, they will sometimes ask you if you want V-Power or you want Super or you want, I don't know the various types there are. But do these different fuel types do different things for our cars, or are we okay with just buying Super?
No. The difference in the fuels is something we call octane number. That's kind of something, it's like it tells you how good the fuel is.
Okay.
I think from 92 or so octane number, you could use the fuel. So when the people who work in the
pump,
not the pump, from the refinery. So every country has a certain guaranteed octane number. So Ghana will have its standard guaranteed octane number for basic standard usage.
So the super is a standard?
So, yeah, so when you go to those higher ones, then...
Okay, you come back to that. Let's talk to this caller. Hello, Victor.
Yes, hello, good morning.
You're welcome to the show. What's your question?
Yes, so anytime I service my vehicle, my mechanic gives me a particular mileage to cover before I come back for the next servicing.
Okay.
But I realize most of the time I use close to 2 months and I haven't even covered that mileage. So I don't know, is it a good practice?
To keep going, okay. All right.
So, good question. When you look into the maintenance manual, again, it tells you, so the next service time is given either in terms of duration or time, mileage or timeline. So they can tell you 3 months or 5,000 kilometers, whichever comes first. So there are certain things, additives or certain chemicals, brake fluid, engine oil, and all those things. The moment you activate the process, let's say I put a new engine oil into your vehicle now, or some other chemical into your vehicle now. The moment you use that vehicle, even if it's a day or something, you have kind of initiated a certain chemical process. So it doesn't really matter whether you have used that vehicle for long or you haven't used it. So whichever comes first, we need to check whether the active ingredients in that chemical is still very good for you to continue or you need to discard them. That is why even if you haven't used the vehicle for a long period of time, but then the duration elapses, you need to go back to the shop. Yes.
Okay. Now back to the fuel. You were answering about whether it's okay to just always buy super or you have to buy the higher levels.
Yeah. So the lower the octane number, the less effective that fuel is.
What does effective mean?
So in terms of efficiency, if I put in one kind of one city of fuel, there is something, the energy content of the fuel, we call it a calorific value in thermodynamics. So the energy content of that fuel, it's like, how long will it take that fuel
to finish?
So
I guess the real question is, if I buy the regular super, right, does it finish more quickly than buying the other ones?
No.
The V-Powers and the other ones?
No,
it will finish at the same time?
Yeah, it's only the harm or you want to keep your engine. We call something knocking.
Knocking?
Not knocking as in hitting somebody anyway. So it's a term in engineering. So the less the octane number, the higher the chances of your engine knocking. Okay. And engine knocking will cause your engine to damage. So that is why you go for the super, you go
the higher one,
the higher octane number fuel, so that you reduce the chances of knocking in your engine.
I see. Finally, on fuel, is it right to fill your tank to the brim? So oftentimes you want to fill your tank, you tell them to fill it. Sometimes it gets to a point they ask you, they tell you it's full, but should they fill it some more? I often say yes because I want my tank to be full. But I recently read somewhere that it is actually not the best practice to fill your tank to the brim.
It depends on the temperature mostly, because when the tank the fuel in the tank, sometimes when it gets so hot, especially gasoline or petrol,
okay,
we kind of it changes into what we call a gaseous form or whatever.
Yeah.
So if you fill everything to the brim or whatever, but it's very insignificant.
Okay.
It shouldn't
so it's not a big deal?
No, it shouldn't cause any damage to your vehicle. It's very insignificant. I don't want us to go into that.
It's not a big deal.
No.
Yeah. All right, thank you. So that will be it for today's conversation. Do you have any final words on maintenance before we say goodbye?
Yes, to our viewers, I think the good maintenance kind of reduces your cost and also will prevent some of the road crashes on the road. So please, I advise that you seek a very good
mechanic
or a shop that is capable of taking care of modern vehicles, so that you reduce your costs. And because bad maintenance, you are putting your life and the occupant of your vehicle at risk. Yes, so
all right,
let's do that.
Thank you so much,
Thank you very much.
This has been our first conversation on our vehicles and maintenance and so on. I have so many questions about my car tires and buying a new tire, and all these second-hand tires, and how expensive the brand new tires are and so on. But we'll have that conversation maybe next week or in the subsequent weeks. Exactly. Thank you for coming in and for sharing with us. I've been talking to Kosi from iGarage. He has over 15 years of experience, and I've learned quite a bit this morning on maintaining our vehicles. Next week we'll have him again, and we'll have more discussions on our cars and how to keep them safe. Still to come, we have a conversation with Si Oting. Looking forward to it. Cookies on standby for that. But if you're looking for a very cool and relaxing place to go this Valentine's Day, then Mahab Beach Resort is the place to go. There's a cool sale from the 9th till the 18th of February. You can book from the 29th of January, which is past, till tomorrow. So you can book until tomorrow is the last day for booking. Stay for one night and get the second night for free for 1 or 2 persons in our standard room for only 2,699 Ghana cedis. Enjoy a dreamy room set up with gifts for the couple, romantic dinner on arrival with free mocktails, breakfast, lunch and dinner on the second day. Breakfast on the last day is also available to you. We have a romantic movie at the cinema with popcorn at 15% discount. And we have also 15% discount on our spa. Free airport pickup from Friday to Sunday. Terms and conditions apply. You can call Mahab Beach Resort, and if you want more information, or send them an email, call them on 0501 570 684 or 0303 977 773 for more information. It's love season, so it's time to do things like this. Go on a romantic getaway and rekindle the love. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Join us in celebrating love this Valentine's Day. Do you know any couple who have been together for 15 years or more and believe their love story deserves a celebration? Nominate them and tell us why in not less than 100 words. The top 5 couples with the most interesting stories will join us for a celebration on the 14th of February 2024. Nominated couples stand a chance to win a night stay at Mervynpik, a romantic dinner for 2, chocolates and many other fun things to celebrate their love. Send your nominations to the TV3 Ghana DMs on Facebook or TV3_Ghana on Instagram or on